Seeker. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Hello, Seeker. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How's it going today? How are you? If you are new here or fairly new here, my name is Talia Joy. I am honored to be on this journey with you. I am a manifestation mentor, an intuitive channel, a cracker of codes of the universe, really here to create an absolute life of freedom for myself and to teach my clients and my community how to do the same. We're talking freedom in our mind, freedom in our schedule, in our bank account, in our body, feeling really good, manifesting our desires, and ascending as a soul as well, which we're actually going to talk about a little bit today. But that is really what we are here for. Whether you realize it or not, I am certain that you are an old soul here for giant transformation, which is why you've been through a lot, why it's probably felt hard or difficult to create the life that you desire, or to get out of your own head, or to heal through the stuff you've been through. I know all of those. And I am here to tell you, you are here to create an incredible life because you know it deep down, or else you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't keep seeking. You wouldn't be so interested in manifestation and transformation. So, just getting that out of the way, you understand, I understand, you're here for big transformation. You're drawn to this show for whatever reason, whether you realize why or not, but it is because we do talk about the something more. So as you know, if you have been around for a while, I'm all about manifestation, and that is the core of what fascinates me, is how we create the change that we want in our lives, how we create the abundance, the success, the health, all those goals that you have. That is really the core of what it is. And along the way, I've really learned a lot, which is what we're talking about today. We're talking about cracking the code on manifestation, but I've learned a lot through trying to manifest in the kind of typical ways, or taking courses that were just more about, like writing out your desires, repeating affirmations, pretending to be a millionaire, things like that. And it never fully worked for me. So what I've discovered in the last, bunch of years, I've been doing this now for 8 years, or maybe a little bit more now. It might even be bordering on 9. But I've really learned so much more about truly what manifestation is, and kind of like why you're going through it, right? There's no mistake that you're interested in manifestation and you're also going through an awakening. So for me, how I describe it, an awakening is when you move from existing in this human life with the shit that's happened to you, and something in you starts to awaken to new possibilities, to unlimited possibilities. And it can very easily be associated with like a spiritual awakening. Maybe you start questioning your beliefs or shifting your beliefs, or like me, I didn't really believe in the whole God thing. And then I started going deeper into my spirit team and my soul and, life force energy, the Tao. And that really cracked me open to a way deeper connection with what now I could call God or universe or source, and my own understanding, which really helps in the co-creation. It's not necessary. This isn't about telling you what to believe, but you are going through an awakening from feeling probably limited or not enough or blocked into the possibility of something more. And what's going on a deeper level is your soul is actually ascending. So your soul is, how you hear old soul, new soul, all that. Your soul is growing just like you are as a human in this lifetime. So as your soul starts kind of calling you for more, or like, there's more to life than this, or you don't have to settle for this. Maybe there's something completely new out there for you, or you're worth more. And the narrative is different for all of us slightly, but it's literally your soul starts whispering that there's more for you in this lifetime. And you start having that desire to break free or change or shift. So you might seek counseling or therapy or podcasts like this. And then, of course, you and I, the seekers, were drawn to the law of attraction and manifestation because it's like, oh my goodness, it's everything all in one. It's transformation, it's change, it's co-creation and magic. And that is literally your soul saying it's time to remember who you truly are. It's time to remember that you are a deliberate creator. So as you see on this show, if that just gave you tingles or goosebumps, it's about something so much more. So we're going to talk all about how to manifest. And on this show, I have at this point over 300 episodes on how to manifest things as well, more money, business, all these different things that these goals we have. And it's that, and it's a learning process and it's an evolving process. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We are diving into all of this and more today. We are talking about cracking the code on manifestation and some of the things that I've become even more present to. I've gone through so much change, the last year, holy crap. But the last 6 months, for any of you that hear me talk about momentum, and of course you've experienced this as well in your life, there's the initial wave of changes, and then there's the momentum that picks up. And it's just life has been getting so crazy in the last 6 months in such a good way, feeling magical and also having times of feeling kind of blocked or stuck, but also in surrender to that instead of freaking out and using the tools and being patient and also, devoting to myself. I'll probably sprinkle all this into this episode and talk about what I've been doing, but it's just been this radical shift and my clients are feeling it. People around me are feeling it. Even within my household, it's just, I can feel it. And there's so much more that has become obvious. So that's what we're talking about today. And before we dive into that, I want to let you know though, if this is all yes, 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 I have a free masterclass coming up. It's actually a 2-part on Zoom. There will be a replay that I'm going to post to the podcast here, to the Awakening Her podcast. As episodes. It's going to be 2 parts. But if you want to join live, if you want to see my face and be on a Zoom call, we're going to go through 2 days or 2 classes. And it's called How to Master Manifestation. The link will be right there below. February, I believe, I'm not in front of it, but I think it's the 8th and 9th. It's coming right up. I would love to see your face and, we can be in this together and really take in the medicine that's going to come through. If you do officially register, since it's free and there will be the replay on the podcast. You don't have to register. You could just listen on the podcast. But if you do register, you get the opportunity to join live, as well as I'm going to give you 2 free meditations to support you in your journey. One is called Open to Receive, which just recently someone told me was the best meditation they've ever done, which means a lot. There's a lot of them out there. And then there's another one that's a cash money activation. So that one is really fun. And I don't usually give that away. So I really want to pass it on to help you manifest more wealth and abundance as well. So that is the 2-part free masterclass. Check that out. Sign up for that below. And shortly after that, it's not even officially released yet. We'll do a little soft release right now. The manifestation code. Feel it in your body. Feel those words. We have an epic 10-week container portal learning experience called the Manifestation Code. So I'm not going to go too much into detail. You'll hear more about it. But if you feel it in your body and you want to check it out, you want to be literally one of the first people to check it out, I have put the link below. Again, it's not publicly released yet, but you do have the opportunity, if you would like, to join in the early bird phase, and the price will go up in a week or so. Okay, so what the Manifestation Code is if any of you took Activated or heard me talk about Activated, that was my signature program. So what I've done is I've taken Activated and I've really updated it with the new potent information that I have, but I'm re-recording everything, and we're going to go through 10 weeks of a live round. And this program is literally the best thing I've ever put out times 10 or 100 or 111 because there has been so much more potent activation in my body and new practices. We're going to talk deeply about the rapid embodiment technique, which is a new thing I've just started teaching, but I've been practicing it for 4 or 5 months now, and it is next freaking level. So we are going to dive in deep. It is an experience that will change you, and we get into healing and getting unblocked and reprogramming, identity shifting, quantum manifestation. Plus, we even have bonus live workshops. There are 2 energy sessions, a healing ceremony and a quantum activation. And then there's 2 full workshops. One is called the body code, where we focus on coming into right relationship with our body and honoring our body, creating safety, security, manifestations through the body. And then the other one is called the money code, where we are diving deep into the energetics of money. And I am teaching you everything that I've been learning. So we do it all. So you can check out the page if it interests you, a 10-week portal. Because this is the first round, I am actually keeping the price quite a bit lower than I will for the next round. So it's the early bird, it's the lowest price. If you want to jump into the manifestation code, that is going to be something extremely special that you're going to want to be in on if you're really truly ready to master manifestation and really put this stuff into play and have my support and walk through it step by step with practices and methodologies. And this rapid embodiment technique is next level. I cannot wait to support you. So check that out below. Okay, so we're going to dive into this. Cracking the code on manifestation. So today what we're going to talk about is the fact, and I'm going to talk about this in the free masterclass. We're going to go much more in depth, but the thing to realize is there's a few really critical components when it comes to manifestation. So when you're seeing the things like writing out the desires or the mantras, there's aspects of it that are true, but we need to bring it all together to actually physically manifest something. So a lot of times when I'm seeing teachers teaching it, and this isn't anything against anybody, because I actually think that the teachers of manifestation are all kind of made for different students, and you're drawn to your teacher. And so I think that, it could even be working for their communities, but it never worked for me. But when I see things just like the affirmations or the 555 method or the writing it out, and that's kind of most of the work, I just look at that and I go, yeah, and there's so much missing. So today we're going to talk about that, the full spectrum, what I've really started to see about manifestation and been implementing and been really noticing a difference. As I've mentioned on the show, my income, I don't talk about income a lot because it's not a key focus of what I do and what I teach, but my income has tripled. And in my business, I'm so much more on fire and focused and devoted and high energy. And my channel has expanded like crazy, as well as my body. I've received from spirit and my own intuition a lot of clarity around what's been going on. I've been feeling so much better with pain. I've released weight. There's just been so many things that don't normally happen. Clarity that doesn't normally happen, pain levels that are drastically changed. And that shit I take notice of because I am a witnesser of the universe, and life is always feedbacking on us. When we make positive change, when we learn how to read life, as I'm sure you can see that positive change rippled out. So if you start being a bit more optimistic, one of the first things you start feeling better in general. And then you might notice that triggers take you out less, or you spend less time in that trigger, or you start making more positive decisions for yourself around honoring your energy or the food you eat or whatever, but it's not from force, it's from inspiration and alignment. That's what I really notice is who I am being. And then of course I start noticing more money, more ideas, more creativity, more potency in life. It's because I'm starting to really gather a strong momentum in this kind of new way. So anyway, okay. So in manifestation, first and foremost, we're going to do a little like rundown here, and you can see for yourself. If you're a member of On the Path, we're actually doing a manifestation audit this week. So if any of you haven't joined and want to, this is a great episode to join in on. It's the private podcast that has my methodology on it and meditations and weekly assignments. And it's just so good. It's called On the Path Private Podcast. You can check it out. But if you are a member, we are doing a manifestation audit, and we're going through these things and a few more things in depth so you can really look at where you're at. So make sure to check that out. So with manifestation, there is the who you are being, which we're just jumping into. This is about 70% of your manifestation is who you are being. And what this really means is the energy you carry, who you are being in relation to what you want. This is where we start really looking at, am I being in alignment, or am I being that version of me? And it's okay. The answer will be no. Because once you are being that fully, and it's embodied, your manifestation will come. So to all of us, there's area. I mean, it's 70% of the work. So, or of the manifestation process is the energy you carry. So it's actually okay to go, no, I'm not totally being, but where can I start to bridge the gap? So in brief, again, join the masterclass for more on this. But in brief, it's who you are being is determined by your thoughts, your beliefs, and your personality, and the overall vibe you carry. So then you want to think of that in respect to your goals, or regarding or in relation to your goals. So when it comes to money, who are you being? Are you being controlling? Are you being worrying? Are you being constantly in fear, in lack? Are you hating money? Are you idolizing money? Where's the kink? Where's the poop? Where's the disempowerment? And again, there will be some, or else you would have what you want. So I ask myself this. I'm like, okay, when I'm going for that next income goal, I'm like, does my energy get funky? So you can even ask yourself, say for something like money, if you have an income goal, maybe you're at 10 or 15K months and you're wanting to go to 20, or maybe, whatever, pick the numbers that resonate with you. If you go, okay, 10, I've done that. So I can feel that, like, that's easy. That's done. That's kind of my norm. 15, okay, that's really been my highest month. So there's a little bit of resistance there. And then when you go to think of 20, it's like, I don't even know how I would do that. So right there, you notice you've hit your upper limit of what actually feels doable. This could be the same for weight loss. Maybe you believe that you could release 5 pounds when you clean up the sugar or whatever. But maybe 20 pounds feels like something that you're like, I have no idea how I do that. Or finding love, right? Like, yeah, I can go out on dates, but like to find a soulmate that really is going to love me, like I just can't even see it. So we start to just get to that limit and notice where we start shifting our energy into non-belief. So it's like, are you being optimistic? Are you being confident, open-hearted, open to your intuition? Are you being growth-minded, right? Expansive feeling? Or is it inconsistent? Is it anxious and controlling? Is it guarded or closed off? These are just inventory ideas, right? Or do you not believe it's possible? That's really going to impact your being. So really asking yourself this, and 70% of the work is what you're being. So the next part I'm going to go to is the doing. And this is only 10%. Really, honestly, this is only 10%. For any of you that love the moon and the moon cycles, each phase or each quarter brings, is it eighths? No. Each quarter, I guess, brings a different energy, and it alternates being, doing. But there's only one sliver of time. It's like 4.5 days in the moon cycle where the energy is saying, take inspired action. All the rest is about like planting your desire, grounding into the knowing, and then clearing. The full moon's all about what's working, what's not working. It's clearing. And then there's like this sliver of time that's like, take action. And then it's like back to, then you're into receiving energy and giving back from a place of abundance. And it's so fascinating when you look at the way life works. The doing is very little. It's very important, but if we're just doing without the other components, then you always feel like you're trying shit and nothing's working. No matter what I do, it's not making a difference. It's because those other pieces are missing. Anyway, so the doing is 10%. So you need to physically move in the direction of your dreams, taking inspired action from your intuition, from your heart, from like, I'm just going to try stuff and see what works. Go to the Pilates class, hire the mentor, or start going on more walks. It's like you need to physically move in the direction of your dreams because you need physical action for things to physically manifest. That's how it connects with you. But also on a deeper level, you're showing spirit that you're willing to do the work work and to at least show up, like to at least try. They don't expect you to have all the answers, but this metaphor came forward in an episode recently and it was so good. It's like if a friend asked you to help them move and you're like, yeah, no problem. And you bring snacks and you bring boxes and you're ready and you show up and they're sitting on a lawn chair and you start carrying stuff and they're just gabbing on their phone or they're watching a YouTube video and you're like, aren't you gonna help? It's like, oh no, I thought you would do it. Like very quickly you get frustrated. You'd be like, what the heck? I came to help you. So get off that lawn chair and lift your own damn boxes. It actually, okay, that's a little aggressive, Talia, but it makes you want to help less when they're not even trying. If you have a kid, you know that, right? Like if my daughters are like really on it with making their beds and they've been so good and then one day they forget, I don't really care to, shove the covers up there. I don't mind to make their bed because they're doing it. But if they never make their bed, that's when I start going like, this isn't my job. You guys can, so the universe wants to know as well that you are putting in effort. So the action is not just about taking the right actions, posting the right thing that gets you new followers or finding the secret to your health. It's not just about the one physical thing that's going to make all the difference. As you show up, you become led. So just like a GPS, you have to pull out of the driveway for them to go, or for the GPS to go take a right, take a left. If you're sitting there, there's no further direction. So that's another part of taking action is if you go like, I want to get healthier, but I don't know what to do. I'm just going to start going for a 10 or 15 minute walk. And you may notice that you really love it. Or one day on the walk, you meet someone that invites you to a walking club or a hiking thing. Or you start walking and go, it doesn't really feel good, but it's really brought me aware I want to bring more strength. So maybe I'm going to try cycling or weightlifting or whatever. Like you will be led as you try. For me, I've tried different eating patterns to help with my gut. It's like, is it eating breakfast? Is it not eating breakfast? Is it not having raw veggies? And I try things until I'm like, ooh, that really worked. And then that's me gaining clarity. So as you can see, there's a lot of reasons why we need to be trying things. It's not just to find the secret solution. It's to move your own energy forward, to show the universe you're trying. And then you're also more open to be led as you're trying things. So that's the doing. So with your manifestation, you need to be acting in this inspired direction. So this is, you maybe have heard all of this before, but the part that has been missing, there's two more components. So the last 20%, that this is what spirit shows me are these numbers, but the last 20% is the assignment. If you guys are on the path, you know what I'm talking about. We've been talking about this more. It's now integrated into the core trainings, but there is a spiritual assignment behind the things that you desire. And we get into, if you work with me, if you come in the manifestation code, we will dive deep in. So you will understand. There's even a cheat sheet to how to decode the spiritual assignment. But the biggest thing that you need to know now is what you are desiring isn't just a physical, tangible thing. Even if you're desiring to make $100,000 this year, that feels tangible. But what is actually happening is there's a growth curve, right? Like when you got into manifestation, it might have been around the time of The Secret, or it was really glorified. Like you can manifest whatever you want. It'll show up. Oh my God. And you try these affirmations and you try these things and you're like, okay, it's not quite happening. And then you're like, oh shit, okay, it's my mindset and my energy. Okay, so how do I be more optimistic? And it actually is a growth journey of, okay, how do I get into alignment? And then it goes deeper and deep, and pretty soon you're like, damn, this $100,000 year is not just about finding the right mantra. It's actually about expanding my ability to receive and knowing my worth and being brave in my business and being unique and consistent, looking after my energy. And it's like, surprise, you're awakening. Surprise, you're growing. So we know this, right? As I'm saying this stuff, you're probably going like, oh yeah, totally. It's like entrepreneurship is the biggest personal development course, that and parenthood, the biggest personal development course I've ever taken. It wasn't just about the right funnel or posting the right images and then bam, you're successful. It's like, oh shit, I have to be confident. I'm creating my methodology. I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I'm developing my intuition and my channel. I'm serving. I'm being consistent. I'm being devoted to this cause. That is more of what is creating the success than like, oh, your Instagram posts are really good. Like, my reels are awesome, but that's not the thing, the key. The key is that I am growing into a leader. The key is that I am growing into myself and expanding my own energy and then being able to teach the same. So let's scale it away for those of you that business is not the thing that resonates, that the health you want, the abundance, the partnership, the vitality in this life is asking you to grow. The things you want are asking you to grow. It will never be just about the one mantra and just about the piece of paper that you wrote something on and then you burned it. Like, I love witchy shit. I love ceremonies. It's a powerful support system. Affirmations are blocks of energy that can be really powerful, but it's not the only part. We avoid the growth. But you don't avoid the growth. You've probably, like me, either been to therapists forever. I remember going to counseling in high school because I was angsty and I just knew that I wanted to talk about it. I've been studying law of attraction since I was a teenager. I've been into self-growth. I discovered Wayne Dyer as a teenager. I've always had this mindset, and maybe you have too, or maybe it's newer, but you just know you're here for massive growth. It's not just I'm here for massive money. It's I'm here for massive growth. And I promise you, in that growth, that's where you get to be a magnet. So part of what has been missing in all of the manifestation narratives mostly, and the thing that I have fully surrendered into now, is the assignment behind it. And these manifestations are asking me to be brave, to devote to myself, to heal the funky bits that didn't believe it was possible for me, to create a connection with my body and to learn how to be in my body, and to hold these visions in my mind while being in my body and healing my nervous system and becoming more confident and honing my channel. I have allowed my goals and dreams to grow me and expand me. And that's what they're asking you to do. So in addition to the things you're going to do to change your life, who are you being and are you learning as you're going? Are you learning how to expand your ability to receive? Are you learning lessons? Are you growing through what you go through? It's so funny because I've been saying that for years, grow through what you go through. And it's like Spirit was showing me this years ago, but it's just become so much more obvious. Deep within your specific manifestation and desire is a growth assignment. And to get even more formula, which this is breaking now into the manifestation code, the exact thing you desire is asking you to grow in a way that is the exact remedy to your biggest blocks. Do you know what I mean? It might be hard to see, and that's why I can't wait to be teaching it more. And I really invite you into the code and as well as the free masterclass. But you've been through shit and it's impacted maybe, for example, your self-worthiness or your trust in other people. And then now you're an adult and you're desiring bigger levels of success for yourself. But no matter what you do, you feel unworthy or you sabotage or some other result of the wound. So your manifestation is literally asking you, your manifestation intention, your desires, what you see in your mind's eye, it is meant for you. And it's asking you to walk through the fire of your biggest blocks, which might be trusting the universe or people, trusting yourself. Maybe it's self-worthiness. We have these sort of key blocks that a lot of us have. There's nothing wrong with us. It's not that we are blocked, wrong, or bad. It's that we've been through stuff. And your desire for freedom in your life is calling you to grow. It's calling you to grow through the things that have made you feel not free in your mind, in your life, the narratives you've learned, the way you maybe have been treated or abandoned, your trust issues. We all have these things. And there's a reason why you're drawn to manifestation and drawn to self-growth, because your soul is asking you to heal. Your soul is asking you to transcend. So for me, I've given this example lots, is I was bullied for my body. My body was the thing that was the biggest problem, quote unquote, my whole life. I was bullied for it, and then I felt insecure and shame, and then I gained a bunch of weight in an internal reaction, and then I got desperate and, really drill sergeant-y, and it went into an eating disorder and drugs to not eat, and really extreme in that direction. And it really caused a lot of hardship in my life, in my own mind, in my experience. I also then started, when I was young, experiencing pain, like chronic pain that was just mysterious. And so that was living in my body. So I was in this push and pull with my body, my weight, hating myself, shame because of bullies and comments and all the things that have happened to me. And then I have pain. And what I realized is like that whole struggle, it's not like I was given the wrong body, or that I'm broken, or that I can't be healthy, or I can't be healed of pain. It's none of that. It's like, if I'm willing to really see what is here for me, to see what this is here to teach me, I will transcend my suffering. And in that transformation, I am so magnetic to abundance, to success, to the things I want, the freedom in my life, my book to, reach people and impact them, and this podcast to do amazing, and all these physical goals. It's not just about, again, showing up on Instagram more. It's, am I willing to grow? Am I willing to be brave? Am I willing to invest in myself, whether it's money or time or effort? It takes devotion. So, are you willing to grow? Are you willing to see what is possible for you on the other side of these perceived limits that you have? And that will be the determining factor on if you will manifest what you desire in this life or not, especially to the fullest expression. Some abundance, some success, totally. But you will only manifest at the degree in which you're willing to grow and learn and expand. And it may seem scary and it may seem mysterious, but I promise you what is on the other side is that full expression, is that feeling of freedom in your body, in your life. Maybe you're having a business where you're impacting people, or you're feeling healthy and people are like, whoa, you're looking great. You feel magnetic, and you're like, yeah, the better it gets, the better it gets. So this is part of the code, is the growth. It's a soul ascension thing. There's no other way to say it. Your soul's calling you to grow. Are you willing to listen? So the last part I want to talk about today in this episode that is such an important part of this, and this is part of the rapid embodiment technique that I will be teaching, but this is about the miracle mindset. And I'm just going to touch on this for a minute, but through the growth, you learn how to see how life is working for you rather than how it's not. So when we are in wounds or lack of belief or just regular humans on the path, our brain tends to go into what we're not doing or the money we don't have. And sometimes it's like, oh, I'm just always hovering around zero, or I never feel like I have enough. And when you actually look at it, you did make more this year than last year, or, you did cover that big reno you had to do, or you did, but your brain doesn't want to see that. It just wants to go like, I'm not there yet. And this happens in all areas of life. So when what we perceive is what we receive. So if we look at life as if the odds are stacked against us, then that's what we will experience. When we are convinced that money's hard, or success is going to take a long time, or that you can't get healthy after 40, or that you can't do basically anything because of any reason, like insert any reason here, that mindset will never allow you to experience more. Because just like I use this example, if I thought that all men were cheaters and were dogs, and that's like how I've been treated, that's what I've experienced, when I go out in the world, my brain won't even pick up on the really nice guys because it won't let me be wrong in my brain. So even if a guy maybe holds a door open or something, my brain would go like, oh yeah, he probably wants sex, or he's probably just doing that to be a slime ball or whatever. If I see a dad walking with his kid and he looks happy, it would be like, oh yeah, but what happens behind closed doors? Like my brain, it won't let you be wrong. So there is this mindset that we need to adapt and adopt. And as I said, I'm teaching this in the code, and it's part of the miracle mindset, but it's really genuinely learning how to perceive more joy, more blessings. So things like gratitude, things like noticing how far you've come. I talk about the proof of evidence or evidence of your success tool, and really seeing life as if it is working for you. It's adopting genuinely and starting to perceive my success is inevitable. Of course, things are falling into place. Even when it seems unclear, this is somehow leading me to a better place. Where can I see evidence of my success already in my experience? Where can I see my progress? And starting to view life, I'm calling this the miracle mindset, because A Course in Miracles defines a miracle as when you bring love to something where there wasn't love. And I like to say it's like when you bring healing where there was disease, where you bring abundance where there was lack, where you bring softness where there was rigidness. Those are all miracles. And when we start to soften and actually see life differently, as Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When I shift my mentality into, you know what, even though I've been treated this way by men, there actually are good men, and this person's husband's nice, and that guy at the grocery store was nice and he didn't seem like a creep, and you actually start rearranging your thoughts, your brain then starts to see proof of that. So then at the grocery store, you see a man, picking up an apple that an old lady dropped, and you're like, oh, maybe there are good men out there. Like, that is literally what it takes. But it's that awareness, and it's shifting your mind. It's not fake. It's not going like, I'm a millionaire, all I see is cash. That's not going to work. But we can shift into life is always working out for me. I am blessed. Of course, I'm going to do this. This is teaching me something. This gave me an opportunity to practice patience or practice trust. And you genuinely start seeing life that way. These are all ingredients to be manifesting on autopilot. Then you don't need to be writing out so many things and like just going to work on the vehicle and then just going to work on getting an extra 5K and then doing 5 clients. Like, totally, when you're all revved up over like, I'm going to go to that yoga teacher training, or I'm going to manifest this thing, do it. It's fun. It's amazing. But we don't have to do that our whole lives. When we learn how to crack this code of life and decode how this thing works, we get into this magical place where then what we put our focus on, we are able to manifest the specific things, but we also are just like flowing through life in this magnetic state where things are working out for us. And we do feel lucky and we do feel blessed, and we are surprised by how quickly things can happen, by how good life can feel. That is where you truly want to be on a soul level. That's freedom. That is the freedom to create what you want, to be who you want or where you want, living where you want, traveling how you want, being in the skin that you want, and feeling really good along the way. So this is all about cracking the code today. So just as a quick recap, who you are being in relation to your goal, what you are doing, how you are acting in alignment. Are you showing the universe that you care about your goal as well, that you are showing up? And then the assignment, how is this asking me to grow? How is this asking me to expand? And then really taking from what I said about the miracle mindset and thinking about that in your own life and starting to perceive things a little bit differently, cracking open to that. And if you want more, join me in the free masterclass, join me in the manifestation code. You will walk out of all of those with a different understanding, an activated energy, optimism, clarity, because this is what we are here for. You can do this. You are meant for this. It's an honor to help you in the journey, and I will see you in the next episode. Hey Seeker, thank you so much for listening to this episode today. I truly hope that it served you and helped you on your manifestation journey. So if you're ready to really learn how manifestation works so that you can have the freedom to create whatever you want, I invite you to On the Path. It's a private podcast community that will help you to manifest your goals and stay on the path to your most fulfilling life and your highest timeline. This is where I guide you through transformation step by step, helping you to cultivate devotion to yourself, master your energy, do the inner work needed to release resistance, and manifest a life that lights you up. We both know that you're ready, that you're evolving, that you're transforming, that you're ready to quantum leap, and I am ready to offer you the tools and the education you need to move forward. So come and join me on the path. The link is in the show notes below.